there were people that definitively tried to get like rid of all their goods for the rapture, because they believed that the world was ending and like the devil or demons were going to take over Earth, and they were going to be sucked into heaven. And there were like rapture tip videos on how you should stand outside so you don't get stuck on your ceiling, which I thought was kind of stupid, because if you were getting raptured, you would think that God would just be able to morph you through the wall. But a lot of people were seemingly worried that there would be something blocking their headspace, and they would be kind of stuck to the ceiling, like you're in one of those UFO carnival rides. And God would be trying to rapture you, but you would give up because your drywall was blocking you.
Welcome back to the Papa Bean channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come in, sit down, because today we're gonna
News are raptured.
end of the world predictions throughout time. There has always been the prevalent belief that we are living in the end times, right? We are always living in the end times. Whether it's natural disasters, nationwide pandemics, or something based on religious scripture. It's always a looming fear that hangs upon many people's heads. People have predicted when the world will.
I do kind of wish.
Whoa.
I do kind of wish that. Sorry, that I lost my train of thought there. There was a lot of. Okay. Anyways, I kind of wish that I was around. Well, I was around, but not 10. I was 10 years old during the 2012 apocalypse. Anybody remember that? Like, I didn't hear about that shit until way later. I kind of wish that I was able to experience, in my current conscious form, the mass hysteria that was the 2012 apocalypse, where a lot of people full believed that the world was going to end in 2012.
Meet its end, even as far back as the first millennium. These predictions often resulted in mass hysteria, with believers going to great lengths to prepare themselves physically and emotionally for their fine.
I love Doomsday Preppers, though. That show's awesome. My favorite part is the first 5-second intro. My name's Dale, and I'm getting ready for the fucking sun flame. There's a lot of realistic ones like that, and then it'll be like, my name's... I don't know why I'm always doing like a brutish southern male, but my name's John, and I'm getting ready for the zombie apocalypse. Okay, God. He himself is also working on the rabies offshoot that he wants to unleash to the public, because he wants the zombie apocalypse to happen a little too much.
Well, dang. The most recent iteration of this endlessly recurring phenomenon can be found on TikTok, taking shape in a specific community known as Christian
A very small subsection of Christian talk, though. Like the majority of Christians, it was like 99.9% of Christians on Christian talk were like, guys, the rapture's not happening. Guys, this is a little unreal.
The only God, the white Christian God. Jesus, blonde hair, blonde mullet, blue eyes, flip-flops, and Dale Earnhardt tattoo. The Intimidator. Recently, there has been a ton of Christians on TikTok freaking out about the rapture that was set to take place on September 23rd and 24th. Rapture talk grew as...
Bro, what I mean about this is, say at some point, in our lives, we have like... What was that movie with the meteor? With Leonardo DiCaprio? And the meteor was going to hit Earth, and like nobody believed it initially. It will straight up be Don't Look Up. If we have a Don't Look Up scenario where like a meteor is hauling towards Earth, and we're all gonna die, I will be so viscerally upset. Number one, that Earth's gonna explode. But more so, the amount of people that would be like, this is it. This is the sitting there acting like they got that shit right. Like every time there's some drama shit, bro, somebody being like, yeah, I could have predicted this from the start. I've been saying this the whole time. Yeah, there'll be a few dickheads that would be like, I actually knew the meteor was gonna hit. This was God's plan for me all along. He told me when I was 12. Okay.
The movement spread and became more popular. Thousands of people were posting about how they fully believe.
Oh no, get ready, the king is coming, so excited. 9/23/24. Also, aren't you not supposed to know if you're going to heaven or hell? Like, isn't that saying if you're like, yeah, I'm getting raptured? Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting raptured. You're not. Get ready, because this is going to be really exciting. Like, that's kind of like narcissistic that you're outwardly saying that you're definitively getting raptured because you're such a good boy. Like, yes, you believe in God, but even accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you should always be like on edge. Based on how I've learned about Christianity my entire life, is that like nobody's ever 100% safe. Unless you're literally declared a saint in the Catholic Church long after you die.
The end times were coming. Some were overjoyed, while others were stricken with intense grief. Oh God, we're gonna die. It's a bummer. This all began when South African pastor Joshua Pika claimed to have
wrong. Really? How are you? You're supposed to know definitively that you're going to heaven. There should always be some level of unease. No? Correct me if I'm wrong, genuinely.
a vision of Jesus telling him of his return. According to Josh, he saw Jesus on the throne telling him, I am coming soon. Jesus then told him dates of his arrival, which were 2 weeks out.
We're doing a podcast with a bear brick in the motherfucking back telling me that the rapture's coming on October 20, or not October, September.
From his vision. A clip of an interview with Josh talking about his vision blew up and started the whole craze. No one predicted the mass hysteria that would follow. It was pretty shocking. Right out of the gate, people began to post videos of themselves preparing their houses for the people left behind.
If you're seeing this and you're still here, I'm so sorry that you didn't make it. At least you're here getting to do all the things that you wanted to do. And
The guy that bought her car for $1 the day after the rapture when she comes back asking for it back. The guy that's actively in a fucking U-Haul moving into her house when she walks back her house. Sorry.
be naughty for your fellow sinners. I don't know. Maybe you can make the best out of it. But yeah, bye.
Bro, like, what are those people doing right now? Like, I want to know so bad. Do you think they just moved? Like, do you think they moved past that? Half. But there's no way. Like, there's no way your entire being believes that the world's going to end, and then a month later, you're not in shambles. Like, I feel like that would be distraught for like a year. If you fully felt that the world was definitively going to end.
Yeah, everybody's here for.
But the it's like, it's not, honestly, it's not even like a big misled. It's like a level of mental instability, but like that's, like, it's not like, oh, you're just like hyper religious. No, it's like, you're like falling for a podcast clip of a fucking pastor saying that it's all vision of religion.
Rapture, because my ass is going up. I got a jacuzzi back there. Feel free to use it. The woman stocked up on candles and Bibles, as well as leaving behind laminated note cards of script.
Why are you stocking up on Bibles? The world's ending. You're getting sucked into the sky in a full beam of light. What the fuck? Oh, is she handing these out to people? Jesus loves you. If this woman handed me a fucking Bible that said Jesus loves you, and then I didn't get raptured, and Earth was set on blaze, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what the fuck is this doing for me? I'm dead.
Was leaving behind laminated note.
What did that say? It's not you?
Was leaving behind laminated note.
It's not too late. I gotta read that.
Laminated.
Take this Bible, find other believers. Be careful, trust. Do not take the mark in hand or forehead.
Note card of scripture.
Where did everybody go? Many people vanished because they believe in Jesus Christ, Son of God. And it's something to take them to heaven. This is God to save those who trust Him.
Cheers for the sinners, or should we with that?
Oh my God, this is like so reminding me of when I left the gym one day and some dude shoved a fucking card in my door, and I read it in my car, and he was claiming to be Jesus Christ in the flesh, and he was asking for like help in his research to create his own like subset of. I've told you guys the story. This was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I left the gym. There was a dude that shoved like a pamphlet in my fucking car door, and I read it, and he literally was claiming to be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Like he was. I wish I kept it. I threw it out, and it was like full-blown religious psychosis. This was the craziest thing I've ever read from like a random guy.
What else? What hell on earth?
No rules. Did you get an autograph? No, I didn't see it. It was just in my door.
Like Jesus said, I'm going to get all of these sinners. Yeah, what if I was thinking? What if Josh was right? He was like, Joshua, I will be born in blameless. I cannot wait for that day. Whoa! Other believers began quitting their jobs, selling their cars, and rumors spread that some people were insane homes. According to one user online, her psychiatrist permanently closed her practice because she fully believed that the rapture was coming. The psychiatrist, she completely abandoned her patients and began posting TikToks about her excitement.
I think you probably shouldn't go to that psychiatrist to begin with. But I think that's obviously a good thing. I think if you're the psychiatrist and she shuts down her business because she fully believes the rapture is coming, I think, honestly, you get yourself solid to find another psychiatrist.
Times, patients were left in disbelief and shared her videos showing how insane she looked for abandoning her decade-long practice and for posting about TikTok.
Thank you, Rapture Talk, for making me get rid of everything they own for free and not care. Why does she have 9 fucking cameras from like 2003?
That's a lot.
My God, why do you have so many cameras?
Wow.
That's the thing, if it's just gonna happen, you got a 2-week heads up. 2 weeks.
No. I'm closing it down. It's the principal. And she's like, it doesn't matter. We're free. She's letting him know, too. She's making a statement, right? She's standing behind. She's staying on business. Hey, just want to thank today's sponsor real quick, Stall Portland. Hey, that's where we go. Since they were not expecting to be left on Earth, people began to give away all their money to random strangers. Smart. An Uber driver posted about how they were picking up a couple after church who were crying hysterically.
And to get in my car, you know, everyone's like, hey, there's coming back, he's coming back tomorrow. And I was like, wait, like tomorrow? Tomorrow? They were like, yeah, I think it's between the 23rd and 24th. I was like,
Blink and get more with Blink 2K plus smart security. With Blink 2K.
Oh, well, I'd get fired over that thing. Oh my God, I'd get banned on even rap. I'd be like, you're a crazy ass since you're getting raptured tomorrow, bro. I wouldn't be able to hold that in. Like, if I was Uber driving out of your mind saying that you're gonna get taken in light and like floating into the sky, I'd be like, bro, you need
They said they believed the rapture was coming the next day and wanted to bless their driver with the remaining money since they wouldn't need it.
But this makes us Christians look bad. I think most people recognize the difference between Christianity and insane people that think they're getting raptured. Like, now. Right? Like, believing the rapture is different from being like, yeah, I'm getting raptured.
Blessing the steps. God was just like, there's your tip, man. So before they got out of the car, they handed the driver a huge roll of cash containing various dollar bills and coins from around the world.
so it's in the bundle full of cash. Now,
They just gave him money.
Various dollar bills and coins from around the world.
so it's in the bundle full of cash. Now, keep in mind, in this bundle, there's coins in it, like something here, whatever. So there's even like euros, like Canadian money here. So there's dollars, there's 100, there's 20, there's 5, and there's all the denominations inside of it. So I have yet to count it up. I'm going to count it up.
After counting it up, it totaled to over $1,900.
They paid for 2 grand? God, it'd be nice to cover the food. What the fuck?
They also said that they were getting together in their neighborhood to discuss giving away their homes and more.
Oh my God, dude, I no, you got to get that shit into that. I would have to be like, you're fucking yourself over. But part of me so bad would want to be like, I'll buy your house. I'll buy your house for $1. I'll buy your house for $1.
Very much. Could you give me your address? Tell me the time for that. I would love to know the exact time and place for that. Hold on. Jesus is giving me another message. Bullshit. Open that. Free of charge. Okay, Jesus. All right, you're coming home with us. Who knows? Jesus works. Jesus really?
How do you say this sound?
I think Joshua. Jesus, I was keeping you all night. I don't think you're joking, Joshua. I think you're joking about Joshua.
What the fuck is insane?
Oh, Jesus, you're going down close the brake on me. All right. Another person received a $300 tip from a woman who was overly generous for the same reason. A coworker also received a $777 from the same woman, but after the rapture failed to happen, he came back demanding money be returned to her.
Demanding it be returned to her. You give her money back, Dad? This woman tips you $1,000 because she thinks she's getting after. I'd feel like a dick if I don't give the money back, but I'd also be like, I would outwardly give her the money back, and I'd be like, okay, I'll give you $1,000. And be like, I'm stupid on your forehead. I would have to be like, bro, come on. Like, you need to, I would be like, I need something out of this for shock value, because you're outwardly set. You're handing your money away. Why are you doing it?
It's not very Christ-like, lady. Not every Christian believed in this, as many were trying to tell the others that this is literally stated in the Bible that only God knows when the rapture.
If she's gonna leave me behind but only give me $300, that is fair. I'd be like, if she give me $300, I'd be like, I'm not the whole thing. Actually, even more than did you drive you in a car? Oh, could you sign a case slips to me, or
Here is coming. That's what Jesus told Joshua. Joshua, Jesus, I believe on you this time.
Jesus, I am not listening to you. Jesus, I cannot listen anymore to people.
she comes back the next day, got my car back, already put up on the rock and launched it. What? Yeah, it's pretty good. It only got 10 views, so it's pretty. Here it is, though. It's just the car getting demolished. I actually gave it to Mr. He exploded it in a spaghetti segment. If that makes you feel better.
I feel like I had a really good attitude thing going at the beginning, and then it slipped away. Others pointed out that people have been predicting the rapture since the 1800s. They would always try because people would worry about the next upcoming time. This is word on the next one. However, the 23rd and 24th came and went. Nobody was called up to the early gates, and everyone went about their day as usual. Some who believe the host they got the date wrong.
I was shocked this many people were outside waiting.
Because it was actually next year, or a few years down the road, or maybe a couple more years after that. Some question of faith. As you made the initial prediction went live, I apologize for everything.
Oh, God. Why did I do that? Was not even Jesus told me this my name. Can my brother make a mistake?
Well, let's go back in time and take a look at other historic examples like the prediction proposed by William Miller, which is a little haunting. William, if he said anything to me, I'd be like, okay, William, well, it's going to end tomorrow. Face.
What was the one from 2012? That was the Mayan calendar, right?
Thank you, William. William was a clergyman that had become obsessed with the Bible after fighting in the Battle of Blackstone.
Aztec calendar?
1814. Show us the footage.
Oh, it was 2000. Yeah, it was year 2012.
Yeah, show us footage of the...
Thinking that if humans are still alive in the year 2999, there's going to be a movement that the world's going to end on the year 3000. I wonder if humans are still that stupid. Yeah, why do you say?
But the Battle of Plattsburgh in 1814, cameras were definitely around. Crazy stuff. He found himself particularly fascinated with the concept of Christ's return, aka he had PTSD, and he might have been a schizophrenic. After seeing people die, you know what's kind of wild? Jesus coming back, right, guys? Okay, Okay, William, you became responsible for creating the Protestant religion movement known as Millerism, aka the followers of the belief that the second coming of Christ would occur sometime between March 21st, 1843 and March 21st, 1844. In that realm, right? This movement became popular.
So where did they get these dates from? It's like random scripture passages that they interpret in like a poetic way. Like how are they getting this specific year?
Amassing an estimated 100,000 followers that were convinced that the world was nearing its end. They were strong in their beliefs despite being ridiculed and harassed by their leaders. Which for those 3 decades, that's when the left was so tall. The Buchanan boys, oh, you guys, what are you talking about, huh?
Yeah. This is like a common theme of all of these. They get it wrong. They're like, no, wait, it's 2008. Yeah, it'll always be like a month later. What was that one religious guy? He was like, looked like a raisin. He was like 95. And he kept predicting the wrong date. He was like, oh, I actually did my math wrong. I forgot this one passage about 73 dishes. I have to add that onto the top, and then you actually have to add that another 10 years just like to make sure. So it's like, honestly, it'll probably be like a year, not this date. It's going to be another like month or 2 after. Harold Camping. Yeah, he would just randomly start adding numbers. Just out of like, he'd be like, well, this passage is the number 83.
Because you're delusional. Because they believe it, and then they're like, oh, it was probably a mix-up. You put your whole belief system. It's really quite sad. During one event, William was egged by an audience member during one of his speeches. I bet that he said he was egged by like a 15-year-old over the edge. In the span of just a few years, people prepared for this event by selling most of their belongings and carrying them.
Oh wait, no, this, oh my god, no, he was egged in the 1800s. This is just a video of a guy getting egged by a 15-year-old.
By an audience member during one of his speeches.
What the hell am I missing?
That he's over the edge. In the span of just a few years, people prepared for this event by selling most of their belongings and turning their backs on their responsibilities. By March 21st,
Why are they selling shit though? Like, what is the point of selling shit? You have to have a shred of doubt for selling it. Like, just give it away.
44, nothing had happened. They would be moved to April 18th, only for it to fail once more. The last day proposed by William was October 22nd. On the day of, hundreds of people still believed in William, put on their white ascension robes and climbed to the highest places available to them to await the second coming. Not only did this prove to be fruitless, but it led to a period known as the Great Disappointment, where people wept endlessly over their hopes being shattered alongside a
I need someone to help me up to my chamber as my natural strength was leaving me very fast, and I laid prostrate for 2 days without any pain, sick with just
wave
worry.
of conquerors of people asking, why haven't you said it yet? First off, as soon as they brought William came in, William the dog came in, trying to eat his own face and hand out white robes. I'd be like, my robes are cool. Robes are cool, but if it's in religious context, the robes are not. Yeah, we're just gonna put on these robes. You go to the mountain, I'm like, you might have picked the wrong batch.
You're like full leading into it, and they're like, alright guys, let's get it on the road. Dude. Let me phone it up.
If you, what about jackets? Sick, like club jackets. If they were club jackets, wouldn't you just nice suit? You get dolled up, you don't have them. Why not? Robes, really? William Miller's popularity dwindled significantly. But we don't firmly believe the second coming is approaching until by 1849. Maybe that's what he really was predicting really fast. Might have been. I don't know. The more that we learn about space, the more terrifying the unknown becomes. I agree with that. Since we started studying stars, one of the biggest threats to our planet has been stray asteroids that can potentially hit Earth, which actually not sometimes. You can't even figure it out. There was one that they said, like, there's one asteroid that passed by Earth.
Yeah, there's one that's passing by, and it's like a very small chance. I think it's like 0.00 something. But if it passes by, that means the next orbit it has will directly hit Earth. And everybody's like, that shit's so low in the chance, that ain't that. But most people take those odds gambling. Most people play the lottery and put money into something that has way less odds of happening. But when it's like, hey, there's like a 0.00001% chance that this asteroid threads a keyhole and then kills us in 30 years. nobody would. I think if we had a 30-year chance, though, like if we had a 30-year time frame, I feel like humans could destroy the asteroid. But that would be the whole goal. If that asteroid threads the keyhole, society from then on, for the next, 27 years or however long that shit is, it's 2.7%, that's really high. Wait, what? It's a 2.7% chance? The asteroid Apophis is not expected to hit Earth, even though it will pass through a keyhole in 2029 that could have led to a collision in 2036. Thanks to further observation, scientists ruled both 2029 and 2036 impact out, and Apophis will not pose a collision threat for the next 100 years. We're a good chap, all be dead. Anyways, if an asteroid was gonna hit Earth, say right now, 30 years, an asteroid hit Earth, do you think that we as humanity would be able to stop it? I think it depends how big the asteroid is. I'm pretty confident China, Russia, US all make buddies for a little bit, and we just start nuking the piss out of that fucking asteroid. We just start sending every fucking thing we have in the arsenal. Just right at that motherfucker. Just start blowing it up. Start redirecting it. I honestly, I don't think we would try and blow it up. I think we would try to change its orbit in some way where it has.
Earth for like, but the past 30 years, it's supposed to come back to us. What do you think?
Here's my thing. If an asteroid's coming, don't tell me.
I would rather just not know. What benefit you gain of being like, hey guys, seriously?
Oh, I want to know. Because I'd stop doing everyday bullshit before. What the fuck? I would, if you feel like an asteroid's going to hit in 10 years, I'm not going to start thinking about shit for when I'm 50. I'd be like, alright, well, I'm going to be dead in 10 years, so I'm just going to do other shit. Like, you'd change your name one if you did.
In movies and shit, in movies they do that to build conflict. But what would happen is like, you are on those guys, we go, we'll just go try this spaceship out. Leave and never come back. As soon as that starts happening, what part is upwards build like a, you build like a giant bunker in Hawaii.
Yeah, like $1 billion bunker. It's like 10 floors, 30 floors or some shit.
That'd be so low. I think it's a bunker. So what's up with the doomsday bunker? It's not ready.
It's like more of a man.
Butler Memorial, Clarion, Frick, Latrobe, and Westmoreland. At Independence Health System, your care begins here.
With Shop and Save brands, you can save on groceries like these. Huh? Anyways, in 1910, they believed a nearby comet would end humanity. Halley's Comet, remember that one? It's visible from Earth every 72 to 80 years and has been spotted by humans dating back to 250
to 80 years. It was last before 1986, 2061. Alright, that's a goal for me to live that long. I'll be 59.
40 BC.
That's the Fortnite meteor. You see Halley's Comet, has the cubes on it, you're like, everybody forgets about Fortnite. And it's 2061. That's kind of...
Go somewhere else. Hello. Scientists didn't have predicted that 1910 would be the next time it passes Earth and observe the comet flying by. This new technology allowed astronomers to view the chemical composition of the comet to their horror. That was made of cyanogen gas, which is extremely toxic. Oh, shit. After publishing the report, a French reporter put out an article discussing the findings, but also included a line saying the gas in the comet could, quote, impregnate the atmosphere and possibly snuff out all life on the planet. Creative liberty. Finally, people began to freak out over the headline when their death was imminent. Before the comet could pass, companies began to sell comet pills, which claim to fight off the effects of toxic gas. Insurance companies offered
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so fucking awesome, dude. It's a scam product that people fell for. These comet pills are novelty only. They have no therapeutic value.
comet pills, which claim to fight off the effects of toxic gas.
Dr. Haley's Comet Fever, a once-in-a-lifetime success.
Insurance companies offer policies of people's belongings in case they were destroyed. Farmers around the globe refuse.
Oh, well, they just did. The insurance companies knew that shit wasn't going to do anything. They were just fucking scalping money off people.
To plant crops, believing there was no point because everyone would be dead. No more corn. I'm done with corn. Others lock themselves inside their homes, while others flood to the caves and sink themselves deep underground, which I'm pretty sure is partially some people's for the fall. After the comet passed and nothing happened, people were shocked to still be alive, and they moved on with the rest of their lives. Or, I don't know, that is comet was. But Greg, you took the sticker and looked over, you haven't seen it. Is that Haley's comet right now? Yeah. In 1993, former sociology professor Hon Min Jen had created a Taiwanese cult named God Salvation Church, and also referred to itself as Jingai, or True, as well as God Saves the Earth, Flying Saucer Foundation. I like that one. God Saves the Earth, Flying Saucer Foundation. It was a belief system that was a mix of various religions and other Western cult-like beliefs, like the acceptance of alien intervention. You see a lot of that with Heaven's Gate. Big thing in the 70s.
Yeah, they haven't made shit so fucking stupid.
There's an alien spaceship that's passing by. You have to kill yourself to reach it. If you die, you'll go to the next. What? No.
He claimed that the second coming of Christ would occur in 1985, with God revealing himself from a spaceship disguised as clouds. He claimed that he could talk to the gods in their sea, the wisdom through golden balls that he could see traveling across the sky. Of course, salvation was not free. It was reported that Chin charged $60,000 to join Chin Tao, and another $30,000 to board the spaceship. He said, yeah, this is much money that we resolved.
He convinced 140, bro, how do you convince people to pay money for that, though? You're also vegan. I just don't. Like, I don't want to say, I understand it's like, oh, there's like a bit of brainwashing involved, but I'm like, these people are like more than gullible. Like, you're flat out falling for somebody saying, hey, give me $100,000 and we're all going to go in space or someone else. Why do you do that?
Dedicated members would sell all their belongings and move to California in 1995 after changing his mind about where the historic event would take place. This changed after followers witnessed the numbers 007 written in frogs, which was interpreted as a sign that they must relocate the headquarters elsewhere. AKA, there was probably a 007 convention happening around like, oh, Colorado! We gotta go! Despite the fact that this was actually just a marketing stunt to advertise the 19...
Oh my god, a fucking religious cult saw 007 in the sky and changed where they needed to all move with the James Bond ad.
To advertise the 1997 James Bond movie, Tomorrow Never Dies. They slowly relocated to Garland, Texas. Apparently, this is because Chin thought saying Garland really fast sounded like Godland. From what Master Chin says, Garland sounds like Godland, and apparently thousands of years ago, God was here and they were told to return here. Garland, 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 Garland. What's this sound like? Can I do that? That's over. So, Chin had guaranteed on his own life that God would make his appearance in Texas, of all places. Not a bad bet. You're in good company in Texas saying that kind of shit. Where would God go first? I'm like, probably Texas. Probably Texas. Alright. In total, they purchased around 30 houses on Ridgedale Avenue, soon handing out flyers to its other inhabitants on bicycles in order to thank them for tolerating their activity in the neighborhood as well as their magnanimous acceptance. Hold on. Got it. We have kind of beings with all the sky.
Oh, no.
What does that sound like? Like, what? Got it. What does it sound like? It's horrible. Don't talk. I told you, you don't talk back. They would wear all-white outfits and cowboy hats. Awesome. That is so sick. Confusing the neighborhood as to why they suddenly become the headquarters of strange folk. Some claim they were friendly and that the police were simply amusing them. And they're like, oh, they were fun. What do you guys have to do? I'm going to talk to them. The cowboy. Like, oh, okay, you are bummies.
Oh, when did they... Oh, no. When did they fucking stop believing in that, though? Did they, like, turn on the leader die?
The 25th, just days before, I was show himself on Channel 18 across every television set in the country, taking on Jim's exact appearance.
5 minutes after 12 right now, and normally 10's not on there. And part of his own philosophy and preaching, we've heard, he knew he had an interview coming.
So he had an interview for why it didn't happen and he never showed.
I don't know. From there, God would then help people survive a nuclear apocalypse that would occur in 1999. He would bring people to a specific rendezvous point, shores of Lake Michigan, where flying saucers would take them to heaven after eventually stopping briefly on planet Mars. And people in the neighborhood feared that the group would end up committing crime because, heaven's king. March 31st rolled around, and still, none of that happened. Chin approached a crowd of reporters and stated that Musk had misinterpreted God's message. He stated that his remaining followers would once again relocate to New York. A large majority of them,
Oh my god, and the group definitely is just dwindling. You know? 140 people to start, first miss, 100, second miss 80, third miss 60. Like, he's getting a smaller and smaller circle here that's following place to place.
gave up on Chin too entirely and began the process of moving back to Taiwan. He told everyone that he would punish himself by giving everyone in the crowd the next 10 minutes to either crucify or stone him to death, which nobody said.
What? He told his followers, alright, you guys can just stone me to death. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
From there, Chin Town's numbers were severely reduced, and the group faded into obscurity in the early 2000s. Who knows? Might even still be out there. I don't think there's a fight. One guy's like, I will. He's like, what?
But one guy actually does it. You guys can stone me, man. I'm sorry, I was so wrong about the end of the world. Alright, I'll do it. Oh, wait, no. What if I meant like figuratively stoned, like maybe hurl insults at me, not actually kill me.
What's that? The balls, Tom. Into the world predictions have only become more common with the advancement of technology. It wasn't too long ago that people thought computers were one day in the world.
There still exists a general state of either denial, complacency, or even apathy about both the reality and the potential effects of Y2K.
The year is 1999. A lot of people are getting ready to celebrate the new year. However, not everyone is excited. A large group of people fully believe the world was going to end as soon as the ball dropped because the world's computers would fail. 10% of the population were fairly confident that this was going to be an apocalypse.
Who's 8 to 10% of the world population believed that the world would end or go into disaster in 2000? What, the technology would stop working and it wasn't able to function? There's like, okay, why would that? Why the fuck would the technology stop working?
Believe that the planes would crash, nuclear reactors would melt down, and systems controlling rockets would fail and be launched at random. All of this delirium stemmed from a simple misunderstanding of computers' code. Up until this point, computers' dates had worked from 00 to 99. But people believed that when the computer switched to 00, it would actually go back to 1900 and cause computer systems to fail. Oh, God!
No, change the number. In the year 2000 is also based off the Gregorian calendar, which the majority of the world functions on. It actually has no definitive relation to the Earth at all. We for some reason live in 2025. It's not actually 2025. The Earth has been around for a long fucking time. It's based off the Gregorian calendar, which is based off Jesus.
America's upcoming event,
Well, roughly, because actually wasn't Jesus actually born around like the year 4 AD, not 0? Yeah, he was born between 6 and 4 BC. I don't know.
that people with Jew their cash, electronic banking would fall apart and destroy them financially. Businesses like Best Buy and Radio Shack warned people to turn off their computers so they wouldn't be messed with time switch. And others built bunkers and stocked up supplies. On New Year's Day, all the computers switched over and there were minor crashes. Various ATMs went temporarily down, stoplights occasionally stopped working, random databases went down. No major computer system failed, and all seemed to be normal. Out of all the cases, nobody died. Though, a 104-year-old woman was invited to join a preschool because the system believed she was for Islam. That's awesome. If you're watching this, chances are the most memorable end of the world prediction from your
That is pretty funny. It was so long that you start getting emails from the preschool because computers recognize you as 4 years old.
your lifetime. for people that don't remember this or you're too young or whatever, let me just tell you, when I was a kid, the 2012 thing, people were actually afraid of 2012. They were really afraid. My grandma, who was young, was like, we were watching History Channel, she used to be chains full of cigarettes. We'd be watching the History Channel, of course the History Channel had nothing to do with history, it was like 15 minutes of shit. She's chains full of cigarettes and we were watching this 2012 thing, she was getting like horrified. And I was like watching it.
Oh, like full on telling her, or full on telling her, Aaron, this is actually gonna happen. It's 2010. You only got 2 more years. I take those years pretty. I cherish them. Me, I put no longer like you're gonna die. So
This is real? Like, this is like 10 years from now, you know, whatever. And she was like, when that year comes around, we should all stay together. We should just get together and make sure we do this. That was like the haunting thing to say. It's like so cryptic, but everything's there. Like, we're gonna die, we should be together. Was it the most honest? No, it was like, it's been so long. All I know is so long. Which also, even if a kid knows, what the fuck do they know? She's like, well, the mines. I'm like, who cares about mines? The fuck, maybe they ran out of stone. You know what I mean, how far were they just like, it'll pretty much be done by then. The idea that the world would face a cataclysmic event in 2012 didn't emerge out of nowhere. In fact, people claim that it was predicted thousands of years ago during the ancient Mayan civilization. A device called the long count calendar was used to measure time. A very long cycle that counted years in large chunks. In short, a new brain cycle was said to occur after every 13 Bach tunes. Each Bach tune consisted of 394.26 years. And it just so happens that the 13th one lands on December 21st, 2020. Instead of treating it similarly to the exciting beginning of the new millennium, people convinced themselves that a terrifying world-ending event would occur at the time. So much so that they even made a movie about it with John Cusack. Really dumb. Not a good movie. It's in a limbo and be like, hey, whatever. Theories will range from disastrous fires, flooding, aliens invasions, planetary collisions, and mass extinction. Some kids growing up around believers like this including disaster admitted to developing serious fear and anxiety problems in their older years to their parents' endless paranoia. It would here's a like,
bro, but like the Mayans didn't say the world was gonna end. It was just their calendar reset, and then people were like, yeah, this definitely needs the Mayans to do the aliens were coming, and they were gonna fucking kill everybody on Earth.
So the worst thing you can do is tell your kid like, oh, because like as a kid you're like, what? And you're like, you're fine. I'm afraid. Custom high-end doomsday bunker saw a 700% rise.
Yeah, as a parent, you gotta just lie to your kid in that sense. Like, even if you are scared, you just tell them you're not. Because if you tell your kid, like a 5-year-old's gonna look at their parents as like, dumb. They're the end all to everything. So whatever they say goes. So you tell them you're fucked. That'd be like, in their perspective, God telling you he's terrified and he has no control. You'd be like, what do you mean? You're the only one that, what do you mean? You're at the top, like, that'd be...
I'm Charlize Whipple, and this is how I glow with clean. I demand a lot from my body. That's why my Clinique Moisture Surge routine is critical. I start with the Active Glow Serum. It exfoliates, hydrates, and brightens. Think of it as a warm-up. This glow, it's unstoppable.
Things change fast. Your needs do too. That's why Rent-A-Center offers Rack Exchange. Switch up sizes, colors, even products within the first 6 months.
Mortified, Randy's time, as ultra-wealthy people wanted to play it safe and ensure the safety of their friends and family. Some preppers, like Tam Ralston in Arizona, would often perform doomsday dress rehearsals with 2 children to make sure they were ready for the worst come December 21st. Another couple, Kathy and Bruce in New England, decided to stockpile beans instead of weapons. According to them, honey would become a valuable bartering tool in the coming apocalypse. Too badass. Over in China, Liu Xinjie decided to go a much different route, spending his entire life savings of $160,000 to build a 70-foot by 50-foot arc-light vessel to protect himself. He feared floating the most would
That shit does not look like it would float.
taking his homes to seas would be the best option. Liu offered to let other people take refuge in alongside him. Good man. In the end, the day came and went many things to
I like to think that every time they do state predictions that they actually happen. So we research what's going on.
like to think that?
Like for a quantum immortality universe.
A TikTok. A woman opened up about how she and her husband have been talking with the Sumerian demon since July 2013.
Me and my husband have essentially been talking to something on a Ouija board that goes by the name of Seven.
Oh, something on a Ouija board that goes by the name Seven. Oh, wait, let's rewind. You and your husband were talking to a thing on a Ouija board made by Hasbro Games.
Who has been telling us that the world is going to end May 27th, 2025?
A TikTok. She claims that one day the couple got bored and began to use a Ouija board, and out of nowhere they began to talk to them in reverse binary.
In the moment, we have no idea what
Y'all are lame as hell. I'm so sorry. You and your fucking husband or boyfriend literally spent hours just fake moving a Ouija board around and fucking trying to decrypt what it's telling you. This is so lame. Bro. She has a no look. Dude, they probably sat by this Ouija board for like hours.
SUVs a little bit later. This is what and it turns out it's binary, but it's backwards binary. So in this way it meant nothing, but when we reverse the numbers it meant hello.
So he's like, hey, when I get regularly communicating with the demon, and then his friends look at him. Yo, Rock Small, you there? Yo, Rock Small, Spunky's dude. The demon had told them that they are the third group he was contacting. The first two died during the first atomic bomb dropped in World War II, and the others was when JFK was assassinated. So the demon contacted JFK. Eventually, they revealed that the world would end on May 27, 2025, and repeatedly told them to climb the mountain or return to in Samaria. She said that they revealed this secret to close friends and strangers once they were drunk.
You have shared this with people, they either kind of believe it, oh, but oh, it's cool, or they pretend they say they're interested, but then they never really follow up.
Another person, yeah, because they're just trying to be nice and not call you fucking insane. Because you're your friends, they're not trying to go, hey, I think you're actually fucking crazy. I think this is the stupidest thing you've ever told me. And the fact that you and your husband have been spending the last, 3 years communicating to a demon on a Hasbro Games board is a bit of waste.
Claims to have a recurring dream every 7 to 8 years, while people all around the world gather to watch as the moon turns completely black. Like the eclipse. No. Not long after, large groups of alien ships fly out from behind it and start terrorizing Earth. People fully afraid as they try to survive. Eventually, the night sky is empty and full of art.
Like if I could only buy a Ouija board at like if I could only buy a Ouija board with like the blood of a frog and the hand of a monkey, and I had to go under a bridge at 3 a.m. and unlock the door in a weird black market to buy the board, I would believe that board was real. But the fact that I could go to my local Target and buy a Ouija board next to a Lego set of Super Mario Bros. is probably telling me that Ouija board is fucking fake. How do you say it? Ouija. I don't give a shit. Ouija.
The person who fully believes this is coming soon, but there have been warning signs all
Yo, a Ouija board. Maybe that's why it's next to Mario.
Oh shit, stop that shit, bro. I'm gonna kill you. A lot of people claim to have aliens in their brain. Like one person claimed to see a biblically accurate alien enslave the earth. Okay, first off, biblically accurate alien. You got it. In their dream, a giant orange orb hovers over the earth, which is pulsating with plasma energy. Doesn't have eyes or any facial features, but everyone on earth felt like they were being watched. He described the being as God. They explained that he knew without a doubt the end of the world was at hand. The dream ended with the alien taking people captive inside a structure-like shopping mall, and also abducting people and putting them into a giant orange orb. Sounds like he just wants to go to Orange Julius as well. And I was super thirsty when I looked at Rock Shaw straight away. Nobody truly knows when the world's going to end, and that's probably a good thing. There are scientists out there who have listed numerous ways in which the Earth could end, right? Whether it's soon or within the next 1,000 years. But so far, every single prediction has been dead wrong. The next time you hear about some crazy world-ending event, take a step back, really think about what's being said. It's probably coming from someone who's chronically online or scam artists looking to drain you of your bank account. Or, you know, pollution and all that kind of stuff will kill us too. There's a lot of fun ways the Earth's going to end. It's going to be sick. But hey, at least we have YouTube, right? Roll them credits!
I really liked that video. That was fun hearing about the various ways people convince themselves the world is ending. Anyway.
I was asleep for a little bit and I woke up at like 6:45. So I've been awake for 15 minutes. Plus also, I had a dream where I went into somebody else's house through the ceiling, like from the roof into the attic, and lived there for a little bit. And I remember picking up my phone and texting my aunt or and making sure that I actually didn't do that.
There's a common phrase among urbanists that goes, "You're not stuck in traffic, you are traffic," referring to drivers who complain about congestion, not realizing...
Yo, it's the other... Okay, it's not all the drivers that are reaching for congestion, though. If everybody didn't drive like a dumb, there wouldn't be that traffic, bro. The amount of other people that see, oh, I can get off in a mile, and they're in the far left lane, and then it's 0.1 miles. They got 100 meters till they gotta get off. They go, oh, slam on the brake. Jersey slide down. Everybody slams on the brakes. Now you just congested everything for 4 seconds. Then 9 other people do it. Now we're congested for 40 seconds. And then over an hour, now there's just wall-to-wall traffic everywhere because people don't have to drive.
Suburbanites will say that the city is noisy, not realizing that most of that noise comes from suburbanites driving their cars through the city. Some people will complain that building bike lanes or transit lanes will make pollution worse because cars will spend more time idling in traffic, not realizing that providing viable alternatives to driving will mean fewer people need to drive in the first place.
That's what we really need to do, at least in the U.S. The public transportation is actually straight up garbage. If you're in a big city, yeah, there's like subways and trains and trams, but like outside of that, bro, mother, you take a bus. That's it. If you don't live in a big city with like good public transportation, you're taking the bus or you're driving.
British psychologist Ian Walker refers to this as motor normativity, also known as car brain. Many cities in North America are designed exclusively for cars. It used to be that way.
I think most cities are car-to-car travel. Like most people, chat, for the people with jobs in chat, how far of a drive is your job from your apartment or house? 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 35 minutes. Some people are driving an hour commute. You're driving to the state.
Does it have to be? But because driving...
Like New Jersey's weird. Because a lot of people in New Jersey work in Philly or New York. Or vice versa. They're from Philly or New York and they work in New Jersey. And so it's just people driving back and forth everywhere. And they're not taking the train. They're not taking this. They're not taking that. It's slow.
Thing is so normalized, people view cars as the default form of transportation and can't comprehend how it's possible to live without them. Car crashes and dangerous driving are seen as unavoidable. It's just an everyday part of modern life. I mean, there's an entire genre on YouTube with thousands of videos dedicated to car crash compilations. And there's even an entire TV show called Canada's Worst Driver that has over 14 seasons.
I've watched this show. It's astonishing how bad people are. Dude, I feel like if they do a show like this, they gotta take your license away. Like, if you fail the test, you know what it is? They gotta make the driving test harder. They gotta make it harder. And I know that's probably upsetting to hear if you're somebody that's like, 16, 17, trying to get your license. Bro, the driver's test, the hardest thing is parallel parking. What? You're never even going to use that most of the time. What? And the driver's test is literally stop at a stoplight, learn how to turn right, drive, and go basically the speed limit, and then just fucking parallel park. What about merging on a 6-lane? What about merging into a 6-lane highway when the semi-truck behind you won't get over? And his load is so wide, long, that he's kind of hanging into the lane to the left. And you need to pass him when the median's about this far away from you, and the actual shoulder of the road's about this big. So now you're sitting there going, and the semi-truck puts his left blinker on, and you start going in your lane. What do you do? We gotta assess that. I think it's gotta be, with the advancement of AI and technology, start doing simulation shit, bro. Microsoft Flight Simulator, but for driving. Right? Do a mix, do the parallel parking bullshit, do the driver's test, but also put a motherfucker on a bridge. Put a motherfucker on a bridge, a 3-lane bridge, and say, alright, here's 9 exits right off the bridge. You gotta get in the right one. Figure it out. So, shit like that. Because people don't know how to do that. And then they just suck at driving. And it's like, there's types of drivers that suck at that shit and then don't, and then do it, and then they just make try to contest it. And then there's people that flat out won't drive over bridges because they're that scared or bad at it.
And 150 episodes.
Like, there's people that won't drive on back roads because they're afraid of the highway.
Stop at a green light. You stop at a green light?
Yes.
This assumption that everyone should drive and has to drive results in many bad drivers on the road because, believe it or not, some people are just not cut out to drive. And that's completely fine.
Yeah, and I don't even want to look at the motherfuckers. The fact that, like, I talk to, like, dumbass people on the daily, and then you can see them going 85 miles an hour down a highway, barrel, in a Ford F-250. Yo, you're in a death trap. You could kill people in that fucking thing.
Yet we consistently build cities exclusively for cars and design streets that prioritize vehicle speeds rather than the safety of people. We need to change the way we approach road safety because, as of now, bad driving has become normalized.
Toronto's hosting Victoria's Secret camera, which was taken down by bandits.
Not only will hold up around the corner 1,000 times a year, it will fix traffic, and you'll be able to drive everywhere like 100.
Okay, I've never been in a Waymo, and I do think they are good. They're good in a sense of, like, you kind of need all the cars to be self-driving cars, but the funniest shit about Waymos is, you ever seen the one video where they got into self-driving, like, Waymo, and it just kept doing loops in a parking lot, and you couldn't get out? So he starts filming himself and he's like, dude, it's just doing circles in this Home Depot parking lot. I can't do anything. And he's like trapped in this car, 20 miles an hour.
In March of 2020, at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, U.S. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin made this statement. We don't shut down the economy because tens of thousands of people die on the highways. It's a risk we accept so we can move about it. Over 40,000 Americans die each year from traffic collisions, and hundreds of thousands are severely injured, many of which face permanent life.
The problem with self-driving cars, though, is people don't care. Well, people don't want to die in car crash. But people don't care if somebody dies in a car crash from human error. People would care if they died in a car crash due to robot error. Like, that's one of the advancements of, like, computing and technology that's really good, is that, like, we could get in a situation where computers would drive them, and you don't have to do it. People would still die, but less would die, and when somebody dies, it would learn that to a T to where nobody would die in that way again. The problem is, you get into a self-driving car, and you fucking die. Your family's gonna be so much more mad than if you died in a car crash and it's your fault because you threw a fucking stop sign. Because then they have nobody to blame but you, right? Or the guy that's driving. But if a robot kills you, all hands are off the table, right? Even though more people die in humans than people would die in robots, in a robot car driving, like self-driving cars, people would still rather have, 50, 500x deaths from humans than self-driving cars. Because you're putting your life in your own hands versus something else.
Altering conditions. To put that into perspective, that's equivalent to a fully loaded Airbus A380, the world's largest commercial aircraft, crashing into the ground and killing everyone on board. Over 40,000 Americans die each year from traffic collisions, and hundreds of thousands are severely injured, many of which face permanently life-altering conditions. To put that into perspective, that's equivalent to a fully loaded Airbus A380, the world's largest commercial aircraft, crashing into the ground and killing everyone on board every single week. This has reached crisis levels as pedestrian fatalities have increased.
I mean, it's scary, dude. Like, the amount of, near-death car crashes people get into is insane. Like, I was talking to y'all about how I was doing, 75 on a highway, and I'm merging lanes, and a guy just started merging into the lane that I'm merging into at the same time as me, and I have to fucking full swerve away. Like, me and him collided, that would have surely been a fucking car violence. Somebody might have died.
Dramatically over the past decade.
Anybody that's been driving a car for a while probably has so many near-death experiences in the car, or just near car crash experiences.
A trend not seen in other developed countries. So no, it's not because of cell phones.
Oh wait, the U.S. is that much higher? Oh my god. Pedestrian fatalities here
in other developed countries. So no, it's not because of cell phones. But in America, we brush this off as the cost of doing business. That's just the price we pay to keep the wheels of the economy turning.
Well, the other problem is, too, cars are getting larger and larger, and part of that is the thought behind, the average human brain is, hey, if this car's really big, I also want a really big car, because then if we crash, I'll probably be safe. So, in Europe, you see a lot of small, hatchback level cars, but in the U.S., it's big, lifted F-250s that weigh thousands of pounds, because the bigger the cars around you, the bigger the car you're going to want, because you're going to feel a lot safer in a larger car if your car is bigger than everybody else's. And it's also like an ego thing or something.
Two biggest culprits of this are vehicle speed and vehicle size. Anyone who knows a bit of physics understands that the formula for kinetic energy is half an object's mass times velocity squared. So as cars get bigger and heavier and as people drive faster, the chances of dying from a collision increase exponentially. But in the US and Canada, it's widely accepted to treat speed limits like suggestions, that it's okay to drive 10 or 20 over the speed limit because everyone does it.
And I'm going to have this thing. I think if you're speeding on a rural road, that's different than in a highway. Like, if you're on a 6-lane highway and everybody's going 75, when the speed limit's 60, you're going 75. Because then it gets concerning that you're slower than everybody and everybody's weaving around you in dangerous manners. Like, no, seriously. Like, if I'm going 60 and everybody else is going 75, they're going to start going, and they're fucking, they're not even check behind them, they're Jersey sliding around there. Now, if you're going 75, they'll follow you. So it's like, I'm not advocating for speeding, but there's certain situations where, like, you've got to move to the path in your car. And that's, like, just how people drive in the US.
The police aren't going to bother ticketing you.
So it's okay to go 90 to 45. No, not advocating that for you slingy, jimmy, you stupid fuck. You just didn't listen to what I said and you're trying to raise me.
One study finds that 42% of drivers don't even consider themselves speeding until they're 10 to 14 miles per hour over the speed limits. One psychological reason for this is
I think the average American dog goes 5 to 10 over. On a rural road. On a highway, like, sorry if I was rude, so that's just pissing me off. No, it's not okay to go 90 and 45. You get arrested. Like, there's a level of going over the speed limit where you have to appear in court and you get your license taken. If you went 45 over the speed limit, you're never driving.
that the vast majority of drivers don't face any consequences for driving dangerously most of the time. Speeding, running red lights, and driving while impaired happen very often, but for an average person, the chances of getting into a collision are pretty rare. I mean,
see, like, in that instance, everybody should get out of the car and shame that person. And just be like, Jane, you almost killed somebody. Jane, and then move on.
The chances
then they just drive away.
Of getting into a collision are pretty rare. I mean, if it wasn't, nobody would be driving. But this makes...
I lay on the horn, hey, it's there for a reason. Motherfuckers don't use their horn enough. You gotta use your horn. I feel like that's a problem in the US. In big cities, motherfuckers use their horns. On highways, bro, lay on that motherfucker. Lay on that motherfucker. Let people know. And then they're gonna snap their head, they're gonna look. Like, now they know you're there. I feel like people get in car crashes when they could just go, and then something goes, oh fuck, get out of the way.
These many drivers overconfident. They see that their actions don't have immediate consequences, so
pulling stop signs. I've gotten pulled over twice.
They're much more...
I ain't rolling them like that, though. I pulled a stop sign. I've gotten pulled over for rolling a stop sign. This guy's going like 15 over, like he's just like not even stopping. I'll like slow down to where my wheels don't like, I don't go like this, but like I'm like 3 miles an hour, and then I go. There's no car. But then you get pulled over for that.
Have immediate consequences, so they're much more likely to keep doing this. Studies show that most people believe they are better drivers than they actually are, and people tend to underestimate the risks that come with breaking the rules. Speed is one of the biggest reasons why cars crash into buildings so often here in North America.
One of the biggest things that made me realize that like turbo speeding is stupid is that the amount of time you save speeding decreases with the higher the speed. Like if you're going 10 over in a 40, you're going to save more time than if you're going 10 over in a 75. Like, the speed limit is 75 and you're going 90, you're going to save, like, a minute. Not, like, if you can do the math for, like, the distance, like, it's very minimal. Like, if you had just gone the speed limit, it would be better.
The official number is poorly documented, but this is estimated to happen at least 100 times a day in the U.S., and many experts don't think that's an undercount. Cars crashing on highways.
This woman just runs in your fucking house
today.
Oh my god.
In the U.S. And many experts
that's a bad check. Now she's gotta pay for that shit.
Still think that's an undercount. Cars crashing on the sidewalks have also...
that was just somebody in a car. The car driver, driving the car to get after
counts. Cars crashing on the sidewalks have also become so common that this was a genuine tweet from the Colorado State Patrol.
Got ideas, a new project, a renovation you've been waiting. Bauer gives you the tools you need to build, fix, and upgrade at prices that deliver more for your dollar. Bauer, that is beauty guaranteed.
I'll be right up to plug you in. Okay.
Leah has short Moria. She's got great lengths to protect her home, so she never has to deal with her insurance. She's Karen J.M. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their fellow settlers.
Where's Dad?
Uh-oh. They're basically telling people to only walk one way down the sidewalk so you can make eye contact with the distracted driver.
I do that. I know you're not supposed to. If I'm riding a bike on a road, I ride towards the traffic. Like, if there's not a bike lane. I don't like riding a bike and having cars pass from behind me. I would rather see the car in front of me, so if it's fucking driving towards me, I can leave, versus it's you're supposed to go red. I don't give a fuck. Have a cop pull me over for that. I'll take it. I'll gladly take it. If there's not a bike lane and I'm riding a bike on a road, I'm riding the cops. I don't care if I fuck up the congestion of the traffic. I'm not getting hit by it. Because you're getting hit by a car. That's how you flip. Is when a motherfucker's driving the same direction you want.
For who's about to kill you. I mean, it's not like there's anything we can do about it. When we tried to do enforcement through speed cameras, speed traps, or ticketing, many people scoff at it, claiming they're just cash grabs or that they're useless. They'll claim that speeding is actually safer because you're just going with the flow of traffic, which is true, but
yeah, I think it's true in certain scenarios. But when you do say that, then it advocates for everybody to speed and nobody will ever stop.
Everyone is still speeding. Some people will take this further and go out of their way to block or destroy speed cameras. In Toronto, there are over 500 cases of this in a single year, and one particular camera was spray-painted about 31 times over the span of just a few months. Here's parts.
Well, speed cameras are also the most useless shit in the world because you know where the speed cameras are. Even when I was in Iceland, I didn't know where the speed cameras were in Iceland. In Iceland, like the fucking fastest speed was like 50 miles an hour or something. Well, all these cars would pass me and then slam on their brakes because they're locals and they know where the speed cameras are. So you speed and then you go, I'm probably about 200 meters away from the speed camera, slam on your brakes, go the speed limit, and then speed again. Right?
By Drive, a street that's notorious for speeding cars, aggressive driving, and frequent collisions. Over the past 10 years, there have been over 1,400 collisions on this road, leading to 5 serious injuries and 3 deaths. After a collision in 2021 involving 5 vehicles and the death of a 70-year-old couple, the City of Toronto reduced the speed limit and installed a speed camera, which has since issued over 63,000 tickets and generated nearly $7 million, making Parkside Drive one of the most ticketed roads in Toronto. According to the city, these measures have reduced the average speed, but some vehicles were still caught going over 120 kilometers an hour. The only thing
120 at 40?
here that's keeping people from driving fast.
No, KPH. What is 120 KPH? 65?
Faster is all the traffic. Now, that speed camera was vandalized earlier this year, because of course it was, and recently someone chopped it down like a tree. A few days later, the city put it back up, but on the same day, someone chopped it down again. I don't think speed cameras are effective at reducing speed.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I saw a motherfucker steal a stop sign. Holy shit. I saw him go this is like a neighborhood. He like walked up and picked that shit out of the ground and walked away.
And there are much better ways of slowing down cars, which I'll get to.
It wasn't at like a big intersection.
Later. But it really shows just how normalized it is for drivers to break the rules when cyclists are constantly scrutinized for blowing through a stop sign, while this is considered heroic. Traffic collisions have become synonymous with the term accident, as if these collisions are unexpected and unpreventable. Recently, I've been really into those airline crash documentaries. You know those videos that dive super deep?
That's cap, it's not cap. This was when I was way younger, I was probably like 6 years old. I might be misremembering it slightly, but I remember my neighbor, he was like 35 or 40, and he lived with his mom who's older, and he was, I don't know what disability he had, but he had a disability. And he wasn't trying to steal it, like, he just ripped it out the ground, and then walked away with it. And then they had to put it back.
Into aviation incidents and why they happened. If you watch any of those, you would know that crash investigations are complicated. They don't just blame the pilots who fired them. They go super deep into all the underlying psychological and systemic factors that
Was he the guy that put porn CDs in your backyard? Oh, the dude, that guy. Yo, that should be crazy. I was like 8 years old. I was like 8 or 9. Walk outside, you see some dude butt ass. Yo, what the fuck? This was a different guy. No, this was a different guy. Yo, fuck, that was a different place too. And then I tell my mom, I go back to set up the guy here, and he was only looking at me. He was just like outside nature. And then one day I like see this CD sticking to the fence. There's like 2 or 3 CDs, and oh, there's this. I like look at the CD, and it's just straight porn. It was like one of those old like porn CDs.
led to the crash. The airlines restructured pilot training and adopted stricter maintenance procedures.
Then he got kicked out by the managers.
The aircraft manufacturers improved their technology and quality control. Well, unless you're Boeing. The point here is that it's complicated, and it's all done so that we're 99.9% sure that a similar crash won't happen again. Now compare that to the way we treat car crashes. In North America, there's a huge emphasis on personal responsibility. Whenever a car crash occurs, the conversation is always about whose fault it was. That person did something wrong to cause the crash, and if we all be more careful next time, we can avoid those crashes. They're always blamed on the behavior of individual road users as if that's the only factor that leads to crashes. But they'll say that our roads aren't inherently dangerous, stupid people are dangerous. This is one of the main arguments people make for autonomous vehicles. Driverless cars will remove human error from our roads. Our cities will be safer than ever. You'll sometimes...
Is that not true? Saying it like it's sarcastic. I feel like the majority of car crashes are preventable.
Hear about the techno-utopian future where every car is self-driving and communicates with each other in real time, allowing them to flow through intersections seamlessly. But man, I would hate...
I did not think that it would look like this. I felt like self-autonomous cars would still have like traffic lights. They would still follow like common road rules.
Traffic crossings thing.
I didn't think it would be like, alright, we're going to remove the stop lines. The AI are just going to read where the other cars are.
First fatal collision involving an autonomous vehicle happened here in Tempe, Arizona. A woman jaywalked across this road at night and was hit by one of Uber's first autonomous vehicles. The crash report concluded that the person in the vehicle was at fault for not paying attention, the woman was at fault for jaywalking, and Uber was at fault because their vehicle didn't even classify them as a pedestrian until 1.2 seconds before the crash. But do you really think people have the attention spans to just sit in a self-driving car and look out the window in case anything happened?
I don't know, man. I think that's a mixture of things. I think that mainly falls on me. I think that, dude, who does that fall on? I mean, that's kind of crazy to just walk across a highway in the middle of the night. But I think it's also like you shouldn't be on your phone in a car. It's the AI. But I don't know.
Back in 2013, when Google was first testing this,
like, dude, you ever drive a car and you see some guy drive? This shit was somebody on the side of the road. There's no shoulder of the road. They're just walking on the road. It's black. No street lights. And they're wearing all black. Wow. Why? You're wearing all black, walking in the middle of the road, in the middle of the night. Like, you're almost asking to get hit by a car. Like, obviously people should be paying attention, but there's multiple times where I literally had to go, oh fuck, and like swerve. Even though I'm only going like 30 or 40, because there's just a guy standing
on these vehicles. They gave it up to several employees, telling them to always pay attention, never take their hand off the steering wheel, and that hidden cameras would be watching them. Despite these warnings, people were testing, putting on makeup, and falling asleep, all while they were driving on a highway.
Yo, that's nuts. Falling asleep at the car.
There have also been some
fully trusted, just like one of the first waves of AI cars.
Several cases of people getting arrested or killed while riding a driverless Tesla, despite Elon Musk claiming that they are feature-complete, full self-driving. People just become reliant on technology very quickly. So if drivers are expected to manually take over when something goes wrong, going to happen when people start driving less and lose their driving skills? Better technology and automation allows us to push the limits, add backup cameras to vehicles, and people might stop looking over their shoulders. Add lane change assistance technology and people might stop using their mirrors. It would be naive to think that technology will just make all our problems go away without introducing new problems that we didn't even consider before. Going back to that crash in Arizona, this is where it took place. It's effectively a 4-lane highway sitting right beside a park and a concert venue. Before the crash, this median had a decorated brick pathway, which looks a lot like a pedestrian path. Yet there isn't a single crosswalk unless you walk nearly 400 feet to the north or
Damn. Yeah, so the jaywalking, it's like you blame them, but at the same time, like, I would also cross the road like they did. You know? Like, everybody jaywalk. That's like, I would say, that is a crime that every person is committing. I jaywalk. Everybody did it. You're the one, I'm crossing the road. Literally, when I was in New York, I jaywalked every day. If there weren't cars coming, I would cross the road, and if there were cars coming, I would walk across, and I would look, and I would go, if I get hit and die, it's my fault. Like, I'm making that peace with myself. I'm going to jaywalk. If police don't stop you, no. The cops, everybody jaywalks in New York. When you know, if there's no cars coming, you go, there's no cars, it's a one-lane road, you go, still look both ways, but you're a dumbass if you don't. You go, all right, and then you walk across the road. Cops don't care.
2,700 feet.
The only way they're taking you for jaywalking is if you flat out like run diagonally across an intersection, or like sprint when a car's and I have to swerve around you.
Cross the river to the south. But instead of actually adding more crosswalks and redesigning the road to slow down cars, the city replaced the brick pathways with rocks and added more signs prohibiting pedestrians. This is ultimately the issue here. Traffic engineers actively design roads that are hostile to people walking for the sake of speeding up cars. So is it,
oh my god, dude. Or there's no, like, I mean, dude, the reason that I'm jaywalking too is because, like, if I'm standing on this road and it's nighttime and it says I shouldn't walk, and I start hitting that thing and it goes, wait. And it sounds like that. Wait. Fuck you. And I cross the road.
So is it really a surprise
I'm not advocating for that, by the way. It's like, if there's traffic like this, I'm not going to cross the road. It's just like there's no cars on the road, I'm going to cross.
Speeding and road safety are such major issues here? We already have these solutions to our transportation problems, but most of them involve slowing down the cars, which is just unacceptable for American cities. Instead, we get told that better technology and self-driving cars will solve all of our problems without fixing the underlying issue, which is our inefficient and dangerous part of any transportation system. It's like a drug addict claiming he'll be rich and successful without changing his unhealthy addictions. Decades of road safety research and best practices from around the world show that road and street design is one of the biggest factors in speed relief.
I mean, you just showed a guy smoking a cigarette. You need to show dude like using like crack.
Related collisions. Wide, flat, and straight roads make it easy and comfortable to drive at high speeds. But narrow streets with curves and obstacles like trees or bollards will make drivers uncomfortable driving too fast and reduce the damage if a crash does occur. We need to accept that when a driver crashes onto the sidewalk, they are the ones to face the consequences and not the innocent people walking on the sidewalk. A great example is the Vision Zero strategy first adopted by Sweden in the 90s, or the sustainable safety approach from the Netherlands.
We have everything you need to unlock your best workout for 1 cent down, so you can give everything you've got. Get stronger with free fitness training at Planet Fitness. Join for 1 cent down, $15 a month, no commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. University of Arizona Global Campus, we are proud to offer over 50 career-focused online programs to a fierce community of Wildcats from around the globe. Proud to be UAGC. Learn more at uagc.edu.
Are you told that this is
The last one.
Hey.
You did it!
George and Junior fed up. They weren't planning on having to replace the bricks today, but they went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helps them find a deal on the right parts.
When a crash occurs, human error is considered, but they also look at how the environment and the design of the street can be changed to avoid.
Yo, like this, bro. The bike lane shouldn't be right next to the fucking car lane with no median, bro. Oh my god, that pisses me off. The bike lane's like this, and then it's just for cars. And I'm like, if they fucking go, man, you're dead. Like, they don't even get crashed. Like, they could be 6 inches to the right, and you're dead. They could clip you.
Look at how the environment can be designed.
Like, this one's so nice. Nowhere in fucking, is there anywhere in the US that has shit like this?
That the street can be changed to avoid future crashes.
Oh my god, it's peaceful. You're not hearing it's the Ford sputtering that definitely wouldn't pass the fucking engine test.
This is how Oslo, the capital of Norway, achieved 0 pedestrian fatalities in 2019. Hoboken in New Jersey hasn't had a single pedestrian death in the past 7 years after the city redesigned several intersections to improve visibility.
Yeah, so you don't have to like weave around that one spot, but it's still not like safe to like just run over. Okay, Hoboken is like, this is better, but it's not like, there's no bike lanes that are good like this, and there's just more visibility for the cars and the people.
Going back to
It's still good though.
Site Drive, the city has proposed redesigning the street.
Like, this is bad. I don't like this. Also, that's the percent of it's like AI people.
And adding bike lanes, which are proven to make...
Yeah, bike lanes are good, but I would say even have a median separation between the bike lanes. Have a bike lane and then have a fucking concrete wall in front of the bike lane and the people.
Redesigning the street.
And don't just have these little plastic flimsy...
And adding bike lanes, which are proven to make streets safer for all road users. But this has upset many people because it would slow down vehicle travel times by 1 to 3 minutes. Mind you, this is a street that runs right in between a residential neighborhood and the largest public park in the city, with sports facilities, playgrounds, and a zoo for children. So I really don't agree with framing this issue in terms of traffic flow as opposed to safety. But you'll see this constantly. People opposing road safety improvements like bike lanes,
and I feel like if you add bike lanes, bro, if you added bike lanes in every city in the US, I think momentarily traffic would get worse. And then it would get better because people that have to drive 3 miles would be more motivated to take the bike. Then that increases exercise, decreases obesity rate, traffic stays about the same, more people can take the bike to work. I feel like it's just a win-win-win-win-win scenario.
On small residential neighborhood streets, or even major streets that are lined with shops and have rapid transit algorithms, they actively fight against infrastructure that will save people's lives, all because it would slow down their cars by a few minutes. If you were to go back 100 years, however, this attitude would be completely different. In the 1920s, it was perfectly fine for people to just walk across the street. Streets were universally recognized as shared public spaces. But as cars became faster and started killing thousands of people every year, they were viewed as deadly intruders, and people overwhelmingly wanted strict regulations like speed governors on them. Whenever a motor vehicle struck someone walking, the motorist was fully responsible, because, they were the ones driving a big, fast vehicle on a busy street. The auto industry knew that cars were fast and deadly, but tight regulations would destroy their profits. So they spent millions of dollars on massive campaigns to redefine the streets as a space exclusively for cars.
This looks so fucking stressful, man. Oh my god. Driving or walking across the street, dude, there's just people standing in the road. There's just people standing in the road just walking.
Redefine the streets
as a
god,
dude. Like this one was just standing
exclusively for cars. They lobbied the government and actively fought against measures to limit their speed. They sponsored school
lobbying to be illegal,
safety campaigns to brainwash children, And they invented the term jaywalking to shame people for crossing the street. Within just a decade, the auto industry had gaslighted everyone.
Well, I don't think, the term jaywalking makes the crimes a little crazy, but I think this guy is also a fucking idiot. Like, I'm not going to side with the drivers that are running over people, but at the same time, this guy sees this car barreling towards him and goes, yeah, he'll probably stop. Yeah, he'll probably stop.
And they invented the term jaywalking.
Would have gotten hit right there. That car would have clipped him. Would have got ran over.
People for crossing the street.
And he's like, oh.
Within just a decade, the auto industry had gaslighted everyone into believing streets were motor thoroughfares, and people walking were now the intruders rather than the victims. Today,
I think you just need two separate things. I think you need just a driver place and then walking place.
The way we treat bicycles and electric micromobility is the same way we treated cars back in the 1920s. When it comes to cars, we're willing to sacrifice safety for the sake of speed and convenience. But when it comes to bicycles or scooters, they're treated like a major safety hazard. Sure, there are cases where e-bike riders have injured people on the sidewalk, but the vast majority of fatal collisions and injuries are caused by cars. And we don't pay much attention to this anymore because it's so normalized. Micromobility isn't the problem, it's part of the solution.
How did that guy even run over the fucking side?
Solution. Encouraging people to cycle instead of drive.
That's TOS. I don't think he would show somebody getting crazy in.
And will make our streets safer, because the safest car trip is the one that never happens in the first place. Here's the thing though, in many parts of the...
You can't just get rid of cars. Like, what the solution would have to be, like, literally increase public transportation drastically. You need to build more railroads, you need to have more subways, you need to have more buses.
US and Canada, you literally cannot go anywhere without a car, which means that children and people's grandmas with poor eyesight are forced to drive. Otherwise, they have no independent mobility at all. Yet, as soon as a child turns 16, learning to drive is seen as a rite of passage, a step they take to finally become an adult. That learning to drive grants you the freedom and independence.
Instead of implementing pedestrian security, send $500 billion to Israel. Yeah, give more missiles.
Tenants to go wherever you want.
And tax dollars.
If you don't do this, people look down on you and tell you to grow up. How other people have to drive you around for the rest of your life. Or they'll assume you're just a drunk driver who got their license taken away. Car dependency forces people who don't want to drive or shouldn't be driving to drive. Sure, driverless cars might help, but a lack of accessibility is a problem inherently caused by car-dependent planning. So, are they really necessary? In many walkable neighborhoods, it's already common to see children or old people getting around by themselves and being fully independent. Even in the suburbs, like here in Markham, Ontario, this bike lane allows many seniors to safely bike themselves.
And that's like, even though there's no gap, that feels like a safe bike. Like, this feels like a safe bike lane because you're like way off the railing. But even if there's not a railing, like here, like you're so far from the road that like, you're not road.
They bike themselves to this mall, which is a vital community gathering space for Chinese Canadians. AVs are not here to save the planet. They're here to save the auto industry. When I imagine a city of the future, I don't think of this. I think of this. Pedestrianized plazas that encourage people to walk around and relax. Massive transportation hubs with fast, frequent intercity trains and automated metros. High-quality bicycle paths and giant bicycle parking garages to encourage active transportation. And lots of greenery and rivers integrate,
like e-bike shit. It's like an e-bike that goes like 20 miles an hour.
Into the urban fabric.
Force people wear helmets, have like restrictions on that, and then just make everything easier.
Traffic pollution and road safety are simply not as big of an issue in these places, and they achieve this without any fancy sci-fi technology at all. There's so many good alternatives here that the only people who drive here are those that really want to or need to. And because those drivers likely walk, cycle, or take transit themselves, they're much more sympathetic to people outside a car.
Yeah, but this is a different scenario, bro. You gotta have a bike chains and shit, but this motherfucker just got this on a kickstand to settle, bro. You walk back, if you're in the US, you leave your bike like that, somebody's stealing.
More sympathetic to people outside a car. Are there bad drivers here? Yeah, probably.
Join Planet Fitness for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th.
It's the season to get things for spring. At Rent-A-Center, you can do it worry-free. Get fresh hits for home and entertainment starting at just $19.99 a week in rent. So go on, get all the spring things at Rent-A-Center.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Just add a little extra protection.
Tom has insured Moria.
See me. Not a thought.
He's got a great minds to protect his car, so he never has to deal with his insurance. You should have MJM. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders.
Hey, stop.
I can't.
But bad driving is just not as normalized as it is in car-dependent societies. The solution is not banning cars.
That's not, hey, everybody has bikes a live steal, that's it.
Just like how we didn't just flat out ban cigarettes, but we did ban smoking from bars, restaurants, and most indoor places. We did force cigarette companies to cover their packaging with health warnings. Cars are obviously different.
Oh, that's Canadian people. I was going to say yes to that. That is what smoking packages look like in like other countries. No fumar. Fumar equal ban.
Warnings. Cars are,
it's a lot less appealing. It's a lot less appealing when you open a pack of Marlboro Reds and smoke them, and it has a person with neck pants just straight up on the fucking package.
Cars are obviously different. They're much more useful and have completely changed the way we travel and move goods. And sure, if you live on a farm in the middle of Nebraska, yeah, you probably need a car. This whole channel is probably irrelevant to you. But cars are also much more deadly and destructive to people and the environment. So for most people living in dense urban areas, limiting cars from certain places makes a lot of sense. We can start by pedestrianizing streets and slowly building wider sidewalks and bike lanes. Once we've expanded our public transit system and densified our downtowns, we can introduce congestion pricing and add stricter penalties for reckless driving. When smoking bans were first introduced, many people were against it, but after a while, people saw how great it was, and
yeah, but it's still like reckless driving. It's gotta be like, oh my god. Then people are gonna get annoyed when they pull it over there to be like, what did I do? It becomes like a subjectivity thing for the officer to decide whether or not you're like recklessly, speeding or driving.
Now you can never imagine going back. Likewise, congestion pricing in New York has made a lot of people upset because people don't like change, especially when it affects them. But I would bet you $9 that a year after congestion pricing gets implemented, most people are going to forget about it because they'll see just how much better it makes the city. This happened when
oh my god, yeah, when it's fucking cars everywhere, you don't constantly hear
were banned from Central Park. People were angry, but now you would be crazy to think that we should let cars back in.
Wait, this looks awesome.
The same thing is happening to Hyde Park in Toronto. The city started closing up the cars on weekends, which has summoned every single parent to protest.
And then it gives you a type B hangout too, where people are willing to go out and hang out in public space. People.
About how they can't drive their 90-year-old grandma into the park anymore. But as surveys from the city show, most people would prefer a car-free park. Bad driving is normalized, but we can change what's normal through slow incremental steps. It just takes some time getting used to.
That's a fucking funny video, bro.
Things I didn't know about Tradesman Parking. When you walk into Rosedale Town, you see almost every kind of person there. First-time job seekers, career switchers, moms, veterans, retirees. You might even see someone that's just you. Rosedale Town, everyone's here.
It's 100 times still
God, I need help. It's everywhere. Ma'am, stay calm. We have a unit on the way.
Territorial disputes over cosmetic jurisdiction, or vanity vandalism. That's what they call the import.
A new study shows that 500 states are straining relationships across America.
Sounded ridiculous.
Hey guys, follow up on day 17 of fighting for losing 1 inch of counter space. Look at this. Girl, that's mine!
How is this even a crime? Yeah, I just couldn't wrap my head around the kind of trauma you described it. Until I saw the carnage for myself. Maya and Dante Pelosi, newlyweds, 1 bathroom, and a vanity we had to force classify as a blush-forward environment with no sign of installation. It's hard to talk about. The first time, I brought home fever. The second time, I thought it would be time. By the 5th time, I realized this was all Maya.
I don't know why Dante is flashing out over this. Like, what exactly did he think I was doing here? Everyone knows my blush rings, and that might just slide through the window. There's a certain standard.
We made eye contact. That's everything now with interrogation.
Their eyes
look dead. No remorse. Just void.
Wait, what is this? Dead eyes? It's called the aura, Dante. Look it up.
This marriage was paid by the girl. I told the girl I needed backup. Warrants, wiretaps, surveillance vans, calling the cavalry. Instead, they sent me a shrink. A cosmetic shrink.
The Federal Cosmetic Crime Task Force could identify a national epidemic. But you don't stop an epidemic like this at a time. You identify a reason it's happening in the first place. That's where I'm at. These are called suspicious attachment. Attachment to my face, to control.
Really building in place here.
You don't understand the nerves. I don't look for money. I look for fear.
We were chasing our tails. Maya claimed up that another relationship was circling the drain over a damn safe. That's when Sparrow flipped the script on the whole operation.
There was one person who understood cosmetic behavior better than anyone else. There were no odds. No one should kisses. As teachers, he challenged the entire cosmetic order, experimenting with products in ways no one could do before.
Azul, I need the Azul!
Blush as lipstick. Eyeshadow as contour. Highlighter is for foundation. One time, you bronzed yourselves clavicle with lip gloss. Next thing, everyone's declaring it collarbone season.
Jesus! What's next for you? Dawn of a new beauty era is upon us. There will be a reckoning.
And then one day, 2004, just vanished. Everyone remembers the day Tigris disappeared.
I was in my squad car parking patrol, eating a breakfast double-double.
I was crashed. Every deep dive research to give me science to figure out why people like Tigris Archimedes do the things they do. It took some digging, but eventually we tracked him down.
Mr. Archimedes, I'm Dr. Erica Sarah with the Federal Cosmetic Crime Task Force. We can use your help. Can you take a look at these photos and pinpoint Your profiling her soul, profiling the night. Layering
interrogation room into a vanity vandal crime scene right in front of us.
It suddenly makes so much sense. This wasn't about excess. This was about access. Pickup is expensive. You're restricted to what you can afford. But it can be accessible when everyone is free to layer, adjust, experiment, express their true selves. But this is what Tigris was trying to do all along.
I mean, all those years ago, after 2004, the world didn't need Tigris Archimedes anymore. Now they had health, innovation, accessibility, everywhere at once. No, I did not disappear, Dr. Sparrow. I stepped aside, watching from the sideline as the beauty revolution finally reached everyone.
Dr. Sparrow and I finally got on the same page. We laid out the board and followed the paper trail. Once the seats started talking, the mess turned into a narrative. The price is so low, anyone can get their hands on the stuff. When makeup's that accessible, the mess is inevitable. By the end, we both agreed on who the real culprit was.
I never understood why she needed so many of the same. But I get it now. I mean, what she's supposed to do. Maybe she'll stop making it so easy for me. I mean, come on now. It doesn't have to be so affordable. Seriously, though.
They're all different. I need them all.
definitely.
Let's be honest, painting can be a pain.
This doesn't look good.
How much do you spend on paint store?
Too much.
That That's why we made Bear Dynasty, the #1 rated interior paint at the lowest price guarantee. Go with Bear, exclusively at the Home Depot.
Hi. In these crazy times, I know I can rely on your posts to heal my soul. Let's see them together. All they do is if you have a strength, no matter your rating, I may or may not change the basics of that. The fullest bridge rectifier I've ever seen. No, it's still a regular full bridge rectifier, but it's the biggest. If I remember it right, the mother of all fullest bridge rectifier, or MAFDR, was a 6 or more phases bridge rectifier, according to the Electroboom's dictionary of unnecessary words and phrases. Fun fact, did you know why a full bridge rectifier is better than a purely single drive rectifier? For high power demand, you should combine it with a power factor correction circuit for better performance. Otherwise, it pulls all the required current only at the AC voltage peaks. It's like every time you try to pet a child, instead of a kind, continuous force on their head, you apply the same total force in short bursts like a hammer. That's bad power factor. Forbidden USB. What type of person am I? Am I the type of person who would plug his USB into somewhere that beside it says 224? Yes, yes I am. Definitely my wife's phone. My phone? Just joking. I suspect maybe he tried that just to electrocute himself. Well, this is a good indication that high voltage will always find a way. After doing some research, I noticed that this video got shared around quite often by many different accounts, and they say the guy got shot by their bandograph generator. Let's investigate this video a little further. Since the guy's hair is raised, it means that his body is charged by static electricity, meaning same charges. So it matches a bandograph behavior, but bandograph doesn't have enough energy to supply such continuous arcs, which means these arcs are either not created by a bandograph machine and are made by some continuous active high voltage power supply, or perhaps this is fake. I'm not saying it is AI or anything. I mean those arcs may have been added later. A bandograph collects charges over some time, enough to make a long arc. Have to ground that thing. So the discharges have some good delay between them, unlike those continuous curly arcs in the video. I think the guy did get shot in the butt, but the arcs are added later for more comedic effect by someone who didn't know how things work. I have had those pesky conductive strings flying back towards me and shocking me. Found this on LinkedIn. What? Is this real? A smaller capacitor disguised as a larger one? This must be fake. I mean, even the capacitors don't have the same value. This one is 2200 microfarad, that one is 6800 microfarad. I mean, as soon as you use it, you know something's wrong. Yeah, I'm saying some engineer just built this to be funny. It is like the puny you put on a muscle suit. Everyone may buy it at first, until you get into a fight and get beaten out of you. Always be who you are, and you will be beaten accordingly. Meti, it's me. A resistor ring. If you propose me with a resistor ring, I won't resist. Electroboom Party Game, the electric pickle race.
Außerhalb dieses Dreiecksausstellungs überall.
You have some pickles on some rails?
Zwei! Eins!
Oh my Russians. Oh wait, they are speaking Dutch. Are they German? This shattered my entire worldview. So I'm pretty sure they connected those rails to AC power lines, which runs through the conductive, salt water of the pickles, and that's why they glow, because they're basically burning. And the heat is vaporizing all the water in the pickle, which, the pressure of the steam buildup pushes the pickle up, making it jump up, and, those rails are at an angle that, eventually go down. The little games we play. Imagine a kid would go, oh, I want that pickle. There is a much safer way to have such a race. I believe there are things that look like those pickles that are battery operated and can vibrate down a slope for a night of safe family competition. Feels very fake, but only like 98% sure. What are we looking at? This is like cool mural on top of a basket. Oh yeah. It's not fake. The sound vibrations are vibrating that plastic bag, which vibrates the mirror, and that deflects the laser on the wall, and that's what you're seeing. In fact, you should be able to do it with a balloon. Let's try it. Got some supplies. It's enough. Now we carefully break a tiny piece of the mirror. Then we crazy glue it on the balloon somewhere. Now all we have to do is to point the laser right at the mirror and its reflection to a wall, preferably far away for a bigger amplitude. But wouldn't it be much easier just to tape the laser right on the balloon? Let's try it. Here, let's give it a try. Hello. It's doing nothing. I think the laser pointer itself is too heavy and filters the weak vibrations. And actually the reflection from the mirror doubles the vibration angle, so much bigger amplitude on the wall. Here, I'm going to put my hand right on the balloon and point my laser at the mirror and look at the reflection on the wall. Here it is.
Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser, recommended by dermatologists. Clinically proven to leave skin hydrated after cleansing. Cetaphil, for everyone's sensitive skin.
Do you want to raise your GPA, score above 5, and get college credit for your AP class? The key to success is studying with the right resource. Start practicing with hundreds of questions that mimic the style and difficulty of the AP exam. And with our detailed explanations, you'll learn why you got an answer wrong, so you can avoid making the same mistake again. Don't waste any more time studying inefficiently. Take the next step to score a 5 and increase your GPA.
Nothing can stop me from plugging my hairdryer. Oh my god, they are so close to touching each other. Please don't try like this. The only reason he was able to plug it in was that their outlets in Australia have these switches that you can turn them off, plug this dangerous contraption in, and then turn it on. Anywhere else without these switches, you plug it in and you go like, oh, so don't. And on 240 volts, I found the perfect hotel for Medley. It's made fuse panel. The fuse panel is behind this frame. Should you know, all hotels should do this. Why do I have to go through every room to find the fuse panel? Full bridge rectifier? I'm gonna be too full bridge rectifier. You can't buy pre-packaged full bridge rectifiers like this. You just connect the AC lines here and get your positive and negative out here. Conveniently, just make sure the voltage rating is correct. It is okay. Let's see, sticking his tiny stick into his power line. He's so happy about it. Do not shove sticks into power lines. You would assume wood is not conductive, but wood, especially fresh, that's broken from a tree with all the sap inside, can be pretty conductive, especially for such high voltage. Don't assume you can poke around high voltage with a stick and not get shocked. Wood is way more conductive than you think. Maybe you can measure. Here, I just picked a branch from a tree and I'm going to connect 120 volts across it through my ammeter to see how much current can run through it. It's 3.5 microns, it's not much. 120 volts divided by 3.5 microns is 34 mega ohms. That's a lot. I guess this wood is too dry. Let me see if I can find somewhere more conductive. Maybe closer together. Plug it in. Hey, 172 microns now. So it dropped around 700 kilo ohms. It's relatively small. Let's get a bit closer. 590 microns. Almost 200 kilo ohms. See, wood is not a very good insulator. Even this dry branch can conduct some good amount of electricity, especially for high voltages. So don't insulate yourself with wood. And actually, thank you. I don't know what's going on here. You're welcome. Surely nothing will go wrong in my bathroom. Is that in your bathroom? The hell? What are those? Wires sticking out of the wall. No matter how badly you want to do your business, don't go into that washroom. Just do it on the carpet. Does anyone know where Mary gets his sounds and music from? YouTube library. Well, someone used a drawbring hose for electrical conduit. Well, it works. The plastic hose should be a pretty good insulator, so why not? It is a little bit too flexible, but it might provide some protection against knives and shovels and stuff. Is this safe? What in the world is going on here? Are there arcs jumping in the air? There are arcs jumping within those coppers. Seems like they make antennas around it. Others trying to heal themselves using this garbage. What is that contraption hanging above her head? What is going on here? See, these kind of mumbo-jumbo people can't make up their mind about electricity. Is it harmful? Are the radiations bad? Are the radiations healing? Is it good? Is it bad? What is it? It is doing nothing besides the noise of all those arcs raping your ears. I do like the prospect of a patient accidentally touching one of these and getting new fuse. God, what is it? The wire was broken? And he's attempting to replace it? That's protecting nothing. And who is the happy guy in the corner? Doing this when fuses popping all the time is a bigger hassle than your house burning down. Wear safety sandals worn? Complete block in Mexico City started randomly to black. What is going on here? It is dark, but at the same time flashing, so there is power. Is the power connecting on this kind of thing? I think there is a better reason. They are using LED lights. There is a good old incandescent light bulb I'm powering through my auto transformer so we can see what happens when I reduce the voltage across it. And as you see, the brightness just goes down as we expect. And here are two different LED light bulbs. And if I reduce the voltage, you see
One of them turns off quickly, but the other one remains on, and its brightness is not changing at all until the voltage is so low that it eventually shuts down completely.
So we see different circuits behave differently. This one pretty much puts all the LEDs across the AC line, so as the AC voltage drops, it shuts down quickly. But this one has a circuit that feeds a constant current through the LEDs for a large range of voltage input. And some, like the ones you saw in the video, have circuits that blink when the voltage is too low. So yes, there was a power failure in that section of the city, I assume a blown transformer, which the voltage was too low, so most of the lights turned off and some of them started blinking. But there is still some AC voltage on the power lines, so no touching the power lines even if the power is out.
Before every celebration, there's a moment of anticipation, of energy, of excitement, of possibility. Macy's is here for all of it. Celebrating a special year of 100 parades, 50 fireworks, and all of life's moments.
degree, but still no.
Grandma's only 6 acres and still can't afford college.
They say
She's so warm. Her eyes are always...
misinformation can be overwhelming. I crash out from time to time. And while it's embarrassing for me, it makes my staff crack up. So they created a compilation just for you. Enjoy.
Water is there.
Water is a H2O has been a lie this whole time.
The fact that people say hydrating yourselves is crap.
Not hydrating. It's dehydrating. It's dual hydrating because there's two. Oh my god, are babies actually all vampires? Because they technically live off the blood of their mother? Unplug it! Why are you cutting it? You cannot eat your head and cut. No need for aspirin. No need for your video. Delete it off social media.
I had to massage a pirate's belly as he moaned and I heard squirting noises to help him pass wind.
I want to help. And if it was as easy as giving you essential oil, baby, I would have done that. I would have all the essential oils right here, just like on display. Patient suffering with migraine, yellow oil. Suffering from hepatitis C, purple.
If you use salt 3 times a week.
You never die, and you're superhuman. I hate saying the word neuroscience, but if you're eating it 4 seconds apart, the way that it looks in your stomach is like... Can you imagine if farts can travel their way back up through the entire GI system? Like how problematic that would be? Just replace the word detox with miracle potion, because that's what detox means. That's the new definition. But sir, we're changing the definition. When you look up the word detox, it has to say miracle potion. Don't know why. Oh my god! Wait, what? This isn't a human-like being, because I've opened humans' cadavers, and this is not what they look like.
Well, Nick, diet hack. This is a little 25-calorie marshmallow.
I hate the word hack! Releases any tension in the face. How do you strengthen a muscle and release tension? You like beet juice? Eat beets. You like orange juice? Eat oranges. Why do they want to drink everything? Just chew it. With teeth, elbow, throat, fever. What's the connection? What is going on? You click the flashlight and you look inside its mouth and there's like a little devil in there. What if there's an octopus inside this child's mouth? Onions contain phosphoric acid, which is absorbed into the foot and has a cleansing effect on the blood. God, why am I so angry? Is this moderate intensity exercise? Is this moderate intensity exercise?
She's got into apoplectic shock. This is dangerous.
No shit, Sherlock. He's pale and blue because he's lost all his blood.
Strengthens your gut barrier, replenishes your microbiome, combats bloating, constipation, and IBS.
I thought they're not allowed to make claims. FDA. There's just so much misinformation in one TikTok.
Repairs your entire gut wall architecture.
Entire! It's like they send in little minions and they go on the wall. Bear, come here. Calm me down. I need emotional support. This is what he's trained to do. See, I'm having a panic attack and he's helping. Thank you. Okay.
She's doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, she hit her head. It makes total sense. We're washing feet. We're washing feet using the other foot. Okay. Was that a hack to show how to wash feet if you can't reach your feet? That's the same thing that you do when you wash your hands. Hi, hand. Mean hand number 2.
Call it a code red.
A code red? What is even a code red? Is that a fire drill? 1722. Bro, they don't know what they do.
No.
Oh my god, you inserted in the urethra? Oh my god, no!
We got level 5 anaphylactic shock.
What is a level 5?
Imbalanced hormones.
Word? Thirsty? Then swallow. Whoa! Science. How? Idiot! Why can't I kick? Why can't I shoot? Why don't I have gun? Why is my pulse 105? Okay, she's loosening her hair tie. She's putting on a bracelet. She got a potato! Not that simple, ChatGPT. You just gave wrong advice. Suing you for medical malpractice.
I'm going to show you how to reset your nervous system in 30 seconds.
Wow. Oh my god, it's like we're Windows PC. Aspirin causes brain bleeds because it actually thins your blood. I don't know what she just did to know that the chest cavity is clear. She went... Cool. I have never... This is not going to work. This will never happen. No person with high cholesterol will lick a spoon and it will turn purple. Have you ever smelled a sweaty onion? We're going to do this on camera? We're going to do this on camera? We're going to do this on camera? It's here for it's not even real.
It's not a toy, it's a legit veterinary ultrasound diagnostic. You can even use it on cows, man.
Who knew? Now, when I have a piece of onion sitting on my kitchen counter, it smells like onions, but if I put it on my foot, it's a deodorant. Why don't we just put onions in deodorant? Again, with the cool visuals. You can see them in the producer's room. Let's get caught in some burgers and show it the trunk and open them. Puts a magic rope over your head and spills it. Wait, doesn't spill it. Lets it sit on your head, and the headache goes away. What can I say medically about that? She put a glass of water on her head on a towel and said it would make her headache go away. In medicine, we don't even know what causes headaches yet, but putting a glass on the head, imagine you walk into a medical office and all you see is people sitting with towels over their heads with a glass of water being held on by a nurse.
Vagina steaming.
No! First of all, it's not even vaginal steam, it's vulvar steam. Oh, fingers off! There's gonna be a lot of blood. Whoa, we don't do it like that, bro!
Your body is not supposed to be a graveyard for dead animal body parts.
It won't turn off. Oh, it won't come off. It's off and it's still on. Oh!
Almost everything at Old Navy is 40 to 50% off. Let's jump to our deals to go live at the store. Easter fashion has never looked so good. Which one says Easter Bunny Pony? This one? Oh, great choice. Excuse me.
March is finally here. But the real craziness, that's where I come in. If you think that Final Four gets wild, wait till you see these athletes get played.
Watch March Madness and catch Foul Play with Anthony Davis. New series premieres April 6th after NCAA coverage on TBS.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu. You do.
So tell us, what do you want?
How about the peppercorn BLT Whopper?
It's stacked with bacon, Swiss, and peppercorn aioli. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
They say higher education is outdated, irrelevant, but at Grand Canyon University, we shatter the status quo. GC.
I don't know if the writers deserve a raise or someone should take away their Adderall because this is a problem. I'm gonna give you a heavy dose of 3. A heavy dose of what? Can you start an IV first and put it in the IV?
This is very, very safe with no side effects.
Because it doesn't work!
Just take it easy, pal. Just take it easy.
Take it easy and just cut open into your heart. I'm sure you could do that. Okay. You cooked eggs. Congratulations. Not a craft! 5-minute craft. Drink water.
We're looking at possible orbital compartment syndrome.
No, you're not! Stop making up things! Boosting the immune system! Rejuvenating cellular health! What? Who? I realized your strategy. Just say the most ridiculous thing ever and people will treat it as if it's a breakthrough thought. Especially if they're benign like this, no one's gonna get mad at you for saying this, except me, clearly. Look at my veins. Tell me what I should do for this, bright side. Hey, bud, what's your name? Not important. Call 911. If you're feeling really nervous, blow on your thumb. It has its own pulse. I'm gonna see if it'll help because I'm really... Didn't work.
What are you doing? We still have to give you a shot.
Malpractice. Child abuse. Malpractice. Poor acting. Is this moderate intensity?
Did put heavy on the needle. I am so...
And she keeps checking for a pulse. She has no airway! What is happening right now? There's no reacting. I'm just losing my mind at this point. It's like bringing like a patch of grass for Bear to pee on when he's outside in the forest. There's grass. Just walk! Do it! Just walk, lady! You'll at least get some grounding benefit. I don't even believe in this, but I'm still saying it. Do you think a little banana and honey and water are gonna just make you go away? Do you think it's that simple? Why have the crazy claim? It's unnecessary. What is a medicinal steam pot? You're just putting names on a friggin' tea kettle. Comes in an elegant jewelry gift box. Where? This? You can cleanse the body 100% without having to do
don't even need to shower no more. Just rub onions on you.
It'll reverse all of our health issues, make us...
Reverse them. We'll live forever. Just not for the weak. Can you imagine a less motivating product than a product that's encouraging you to get strong, but is saying it's not for the weak? Don't have dumbbells? Lift your dog.
Producción de cargas eléctricas.
I don't know why it became Spanish all of a sudden. Your organs clean out toxins, kidneys, liver. You have one. Use them. Can't get to sleep? Blink fast for... I mean, this is ridiculous. They're literally just saying stuff. Got a headache? Lift up your arm. Got a pancreatitis? Lift up your leg. Oh! One kidney in? No! No! My back hurts so much! Oh my god, this is weird. I'm playing Fruit Ninja with pigs. For knee injury or stiffness, Apache Tear and Smoky Quartz work well for issues with the knees. Hold these crystals to the knee for relief. Oh, I thought it was put the crystals into the knee for the relief. Do you want to diagnose why the knee hurts before giving the treatment? Like, can you imagine a patient came into my office and they're like, "Doctor, this hurts." I'm like, "Crystal." But doctor, I actually had a gunshot wound to that knee. Apache Crystal. Is this moderate intensity? Oh, I fell off the thing. If she takes out the paddles, I will scream. She's taking out the paddles! Stop charging them! You don't shock asystole! Chest compressions, chest compressions, chest compressions. Maybe this can fix the energy in my thighs. No! No! Lift with your knees! Are you allowed to call yourself a craft channel when the only piece of advice you give is to straighten your back? It doesn't even say boost energy, it says boots energy! You want Dr. Mike on top of you, pounding your chest 2 inches deep, 100 beats per minute, potentially breaking ribs in order to get you help. Leave the cabbage alone! Oh my god, and the winner's here with us. Tell us how you feel, exercise! Do I sound like Santa Claus? These statements have not been evaluated for medical accuracy. Yeah, no go in the shower, wet your hair, and then you get some shampoo, you make this weird motion like this. You could sing, la 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 la, then you rinse off, no longer greasy. Try it, it's great. Share this with everyone. No, he's gone. What do you mean, no, he's gone? Do more chest compressions, try and bring him back. My hands got dirty. He's gone. I'm getting mad at the show. After eating soaked raisins, drinking lukewarm milk on it increases the sperm and removes weakness. This is so inaccurate. It's painful. Just put a Band-Aid on it and rub it under some warm water. That's it. Make the call to who? Ghostbusters?
Fluoride, arsenic, lead.
Oh yeah, they put lead in your water. Bro, do you hear what you say sometimes?
Cleanse the vagina and uterus.
Cleanse. What did I just watch? Come with me, my new feet. Come with me, my little Newfoundland. Come with me. It's been a rough day. Here's some things I wish I knew in my 20s. Click here to check it out. As always, stay happy and healthy.
Most days at the hospital feel stretched.
We had to clean Telly for 201.
Decisions stuck.
We have an admin coming from the ED.
Alarms blur into noise. Room 205 has leads off. Capacity feels strained. You know that telemetry is vital, but a patchwork of devices and manual work slows your team and can lead to operational guesswork. How long has 204 been on Telly? That's why Philips is unifying telemetry into a connected ecosystem. Data analytics, mobile workflows, and central surveillance. For the first time, we've built an end-to-end oversight engine paired with a next-generation wearable monitor, so your team can turn data into action. As admins roll in and alarms chime, a telemetry dashboard brings the whole picture into focus. New insights flow from a continuously updating web-based view of the hospital or network, allowing you to look back hours and days to see patient telemetry use, and go back weeks and months to spot larger trends.
2 days and no actionable alarms at 2:01. You might be getting off tone today. Maybe going home.
Our mobile app puts alarms and actions right on your phone, while providing quick monitoring snapshots on the go.
Room 203 had a rhythm change. Can you take a look?
The app shows the wave strip and key details.
Let's export that to her EMR and send it to the cardiologist.
One tap shares the strip and keeps care moving. And with a central monitoring unit in place, a remote support team provides added oversight, filtering non-actionable alarms and dispatching critical concerns. This is a mindset shift, an oversight engine bringing people, process, and data together. By creating clear, actionable views for your team, Philips is transforming telemetry into a data-driven platform paired with a new generation of wearable monitors. Take control of telemetry with Philips.
I know most of you don't remember. But I know all of you.
Even though I was stuck light years away on Earth, I never stopped trying to get back home.
Everything changed since you left.
It's all gone. Scouts returned my family. And he destroyed our world. It's all my fault. I know how it feels to fail. Take this one. Pretend you fall. That's your chance to stand tall. This is my home. I'm gonna fight for it. But I can't do it without you. Somebody wants to grow. I need every man, woman, or whatever that is. You may have the power. Trust me. I know how to use it. You tell everyone that you're from another planet. It just makes you sound a little very crazy.
L'Oreal scale raises my ambition. Life is too short for a boring career.
And pulled meets pulled pork. Still on fire. Together, we knock.
Pulling over the police doesn't end well.
An officer pulls to the curb for a